rough. Confusion.
All 10.
You're having a
Gosh,
retreat here in
married.
just around a month.
Mhm.
How do you want people to feel as they're anticipating joining?
Can you hand me like a strawberry with like a little bit of whipped cream on top? Like a little bit of sweet, a little bit of sour. Freshness.
You know how much we as a home have been anticipating your arrival.
Mm. Mm.
It's
I'd
strawberry.
love to hear what flavors you'd love us to experience in anticipation.
Mm. You look like you're tasting something. I'm curious what that is. I imagine you're already anticipating it and already tasting something. And I want to know what it is.
The deeper fragrance or scent of many of the closest people in my life being amplified by the work that you stand for and what you brought into my life in this home.
Would you be willing to dance some of that here with us?
That's what I'm here for.
What's the model part?
Mhm.
Don't listen, Sophia Jean. I'm trying to whisper in his ear. So right now, the modeling for everybody watching, that's what I'm here for. That's bland. How can you put some spice in there that they're like, oh, that sounds like a really good carrot? And here's the possible scary part.
Yeah. I imagine there's something like when I heard you say that about your classmates, you want me to be quiet?
I want to hear.
I know, but so that's what I'm here for. That's your pie crust. Okay?
Mhm.
Now you got to put some filling in there. You want most of it to be yummy, and you want a few little dangerous bits. That's what I'm here for. I'm looking forward to the nom, 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 nom. I also have concerns about that.
Mhm.
You see, when I see you looking at Sophia Jean, it's all right there. It's all right there.
What do you see?
The yumminess. Your voice drops. You slow down. And it's like you're stepping into a broader, meatier, less laser part of yourself. You don't have a lot of vocabulary. And yet there are these little like pop rock, like thinking about what your hands might be doing is to me is a significant pop rock for you.
Mhm.
If you're walking down the street with her and you reach over and just hold her hand, that's a pop rock. Hugging her, where do your hands go? You know where your hands should go, but where they would go and what you think she would be okay with, that's a pop rock.
And
So
how do
most
you
people,
practice this
most,
in these Zoom contexts?
well, you can describe them. That's the first point.
Just you're, I don't
Right
know if you're being
now,
sarcastic here.
no, I am not. Right now, looking at Sophia Jean, what's a pop rock? That right there, right there.
Describing how I would interact with her if I was in
If
person.
that sweater was any shorter, I would have just had a heart attack, Sophia Jean. That's a pop rock.
Okay.
There's no way that you can see her doing this that you're not very aware that she has breasts. Okay. You are very clear that she has breasts, and oh, now she has a midriff. Oh, now, wait a minute. I'm Alton. I'm supposed to be quite okay, and everybody has bodies. Why should any woody body? I think I need to think about this a little bit. Hmm.
Is is the essential route always the route that, or like what
For
I'm
you,
interested
yes.
in other red. Okay.
You don't have the
Um,
capacity. You still have too much of the stuff tied up in really big charged 6-year-old balls. You can't even push the string across because you have fear, and you're wanting to do a really crazy minuet.
okay. I think there is also slack that's accrued by over sexualizing or essentializing everything. And if that's the main big block or the way to start priming the pump for this work, then I get it. And maybe that's just a
Off you
fear.
go. Go try it. Go see what happens. If the weight falls on your foot, let us know. Well, you should have handprints on both sides of your face. Maybe one on both cheeks too. Go with what you know.
I'm really treading the balance on what is like broad distribution stream content friendly and like legible, like versus like turns people off and like what we're able to practice before on live. And I'm like, I do feel more.
That's why I said breast. I could have said a lot of other words. Midriff. Hmm.
Well, I mean, for the reps and even in these practices.
Can I? Okay.
Allons-y, petite.
So if I imagine you with your housemates, or imagine you with me, or imagine you with anyone else who will be there for the workshop, either during the week or for the full weekend. They're like all the safe places you can go, right? You can help them with logistics. You can show them where the pool is. You can show them where the bathroom is. You can show them where the snacks are. You can say, hello, I am Alton. Ask me if you have any questions. And that's like the safe territory, right? There's like the volcanic territory, which it sounds like you think this stuff is that Craig's pointing at. You're like, oh no, that's volcanic territory. And so maybe you do it and you find out how volcanic it actually is, and often it's less volcanic than you think. And then there's like all the territory in between, which like sound like the pop rocks. That's like what would you want to be saying or exploring with your housemate or with anyone else who's there at the workshop? That's like somewhat in the area of like, oh shit, I think something bad or good might happen, and I feel the burden. And I know you know all of these things intellectually.
Mhm.
And so if you're doing it with me, like what is the direction of the burn? If you're not going to go all the way over for the long shot, what is like 3 steps in the direction of the burn?
Mhm.
Like, could you do something here now? Can you say something to me here now that's in the direction of the burn? Just to point out for yourself where it is. It's like an edge. You're edging it just a little bit.
Yeah.
You just,
I
yeah, but you look like
find
you're
that direction.
thinking, which to me is usually a bad sign. Well, a good sign that you're likely to do the safe ground.
Yeah, I'm fractally empathetic with when friends say, or it's like completely a different world. Okay, thanks, Pray.
Okay, yeah, scratch that. I want you to touch something directly with me, say something to me. That is the edge. I don't think you complaining about other people not understanding is an edge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's it helps me ease more into being here with you.
It's a little bit better, right? You referenced me, which was good. You didn't just reference other things that aren't here.
Yeah.
So can you do one more? Can you hop? I want to feel this one, just for the record. Mhm. Don't wait too long. But it looks like it might be good.
Yeah. I'm going to push back against something that you have shared before. And the context is Sophia Jean, when you smile like that, I lose my capacity to do more reps.
Okay, not from the small, do it from the large. That's the small. When you do that smile, I can't do anything. The large is like, when you smile like that, I want to.
Stop being
Just
on Zoom.
you got my points. I thought it was beautiful.
Mhm. What scaffolding we can I both practice personally as well as within this home in anticipation of your arrival?
Curious, Sophia Jean, since you have been there a couple times, have you ever left a couple pieces of clothing behind that you could get, Alton, like a scarf or anything that you could get right now, just to have a little scent or flavor or taste of Sophia there?
What is this not enough?
Like physically, that Alton could actually
Ooh.
have.
Apart from the experience he's currently having, which already looks quite robust.
Hmm.
So, this thing that you do, you default to the smallness. The
Yeah.
exercise is to practice inside your own head, practice the largeness.
Hmm.
When you think about hugging her hello, I imagine that there's a small part that goes, ah, I'm flustered, ah, whatever. Practice inside the comfort of your own head, saying, this is what I would do if I was large.
Mhm.
When you smile like that, you know you're very familiar with this. Ah. From the large one, when you smile like that,
More people could see the way Sophia Jean smiles the way that I do. I imagine there would be many dozens of people who we would be choosing from for this upcoming workshop. And yeah, I would have a completely different face on it.
if people could feel what I feel when I see her smile like that, they would be lining up because of the hugeness of what you're experiencing, Alton. It's not about her. The largeness is in you, not in her. That's what you're trying to model for people.
Gray, would you share more on that? I'm not drawing the
I don't know how much more naked that can be. When you're looking at her and she's smiling, you're telling people, if you could see what I could see, you're referencing out there as if that's real. What I'm suggesting you do is like, I have never felt la, 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 la. When she smiles like that, what she's doing right now, that little Madonna thing, now it's gone, but it was there. When she was doing that little Madonna thing, you guys don't have the taste buds for that. Okay? Because you don't know how to feel, because you don't know how to nuance. It's happening all around you, all the fucking time. You'll never get there on your own. Even with Sophia Jean helping, there's a big chance that you're not going to get it. But there is a 0 chance that you'll get it on your own. Come dance with Sophia Jean, there's a non-zero chance that you'll get it. She's trying to help you develop your palate. Ever try to give kindergartners good wine? Look at that. So Alton, imagine that every fucking day you could do that with your partner.
Yeah.
Get them to look down in their lap and be happy to be alive. Be happy to be seen. Be happy to be danced with like that. Every single day because you choose to do it. It's raining like hell here today. Jane was out doing her exercises to get a whole bunch of wood delivered and she's stacking it on the porch. And she looks outside and she's like, oh, I'm going to have to go put that wheelbarrow in the barn and pick up the wood I had left and put it on the porch. I went, I said, I have to go to the bathroom now. So I went outside and put on my coat and it's raining and it's slick and I have to be careful going up the ramp. And I came back in and said, hey, it's all done. And she went, what? You went outside? It's slippery. I know. The wood's done? Yep, it's all done. I'll put away. Yeah, that right there, Alton. It's not that hard.
There are a lot of receptors and your quality of dance and dance moves that you have built a repertoire of over the many years. The example of her
Okay,
offering a
so
dance.
I am going to slap you with a 90-pound tuna right now. Okay.
Heavy.
Your line is, how do I make her smile like that? That's all you have to do. Whenever you look at your partner, you say, how do I make her smile?
Okay.
How do I make her life better? How do I have her burn more brightly?
And I'm contending to you, Alton, that the people who come to you, generally speaking in your life, already have that experience coming from you. You may not fully understand how you managed to get them there, but the
Yeah.
people who consistently come to you feel that way already.
Yeah.
So you
That's
don't have to
perfect.
really you don't have to worry about that part actually. Just have to enjoy it more and just like embody it.
Yeah.
There is such a thing, there is such an experience of freedom, Alton, when you're like, I'm okay. I have a bum knee, I have hemorrhoids, my teeth are falling out, whatever it is, I'm okay. And you look over there and you say, how can I have that burn brighter? It's like there's such a freedom that you don't have to worry about yourself. That you're okay. You don't need to be reassured. You don't need to have your black holes filled. You don't need to prove to everybody anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, Sophia? All right. Took both barrels in there. Yep. Ah,
And you mentioned being over there with her while also still maintaining some of yourself in here and what that is like for you, Cray.
there is there is so little of my attention on me. It's I mean I don't there's nothing I need here. There's no apples that need polishing. There's no trash that needs taking out. There's no proof. And I mean, it's really hard. She's much easy. Well, she's you guys are really easy for superficial polishing. You guys are just really easy. She's a little bit more complicated, but the tone that comes from her is a lot more pleasurable, nourishing, reaffirming, something like that. When you're Alton, you're going to be there and you're going to be doing something, and people are going to say, do you know how foolish you looked? And you're going to be like, did you see her smile? Did you see her smile?
Mm.
You can practice with like dogs or little kids. It's a lot easier. You can make a complete ass out of yourself, and they're like, oh, you're entertaining a child. Okay.
It's beautiful. Sophia Jean, how's all this lighting for you? Do you see something?
What was that?
Try again, Alton. Give her a taste of Alton. You're going to say something about her, how she looks, how she feels, how something. And that's going to give her a taste of you.
gonna say something that's gonna give me a taste. Yeah, I think these reps are too heavy for me or large.
You look bored. You look satisfied. You're an ugly bitch. I think this is ridiculous. Those are probably 4 balls you don't want to throw out there.
Okay, thank you, Bray, for telling me what I do. Okay, so
Now,
Sophia Jean, I can't wait to make you smile like that in person.
now,
Then, but then there's a
give a
follow-up.
little bit.
Where's the okay?
Give a little bit more about the flavor. It doesn't look like you're saying, "Oh, I can't wait for you to rock me to sleep."
Craig, can I request you say the towards things rather than like 5 things that you don't want to say? So
You want to give her, in my world, you want to tell her how on fire you are with the idea of making her smile like that because of something you said. That's going to be better than most sex you've had in your entire life. Just her smiling like that. That will eclipse most of the sex I've ever had if I can get you to smile like that with my words. You see how there's a flavor in there, Alton? It's not there. There is the part about wanting her to smile with your words, but it's the flavor of it. Hope I'm making sense.
I think it's more than making sense, and it's better reps and taking this on in ways that are legible to these.
We're sitting on the tennis court and we're popping balls back and forth. And Alton's like, yes, if I were to practice in the future at some time, I might become a really much better. And I'm like, you're on the tennis court. We're all wearing tennis clothes. We all have rackets and balls. You're on the other side of the net. What are you waiting for? Reps right now. Do it.
If you want to show people how to practice or like what the point of a practice space is, you're going to swing, right? Like if you're standing there being like, but how am I going to win the World Series or something? I don't know. You do this in other spaces. Like you do this in my group. I've certainly seen you do it in Hang. I've seen you do it with other people.
Yeah. The way that you seduce different characters out of me, I'm continuing to be flustered by. Okay, speak to the bigness, which is I can't wait to discover the new sides of me when we're here in person. And I'm continuing to fall more in love with this version of me that I get to be with you here now. Thank you for seeing the bigness in us.
That was gorgeous. And now, me being the asshole that I am, let's try it with testicles instead of vulvas.
You mean his or someone else's?
Well, if he has to borrow a pair, I'm okay with that. So you just did a beautiful feminine version of telling the guy that, oh my God, what you stir up in me is amazing. It's a little scary. And it's almost like it's too much, but I'm really liking it. This is the feminine version of it. But now, step into the masculine version. It's not her
Sure.
doing to you, but you doing to her. He's got the body shit down.
Mhm.
Me doing to her.
It's the same.
Imagine that your belly is thinking rather than your head.
With what she's evoking in you. She is evoking something. It's the same premise. You have the same ingredients. Is this you're not going to make a cake, you're going to make a stroganoff. The different ingredients. You're not going to make it. You're going to be consuming her. You're going to be penetrating her. You're going to be.
Wow.
She's giving you permission to be something.
Oh. Oh man.
He has these on hotkeys,
My computer.
It's gotten a little too hot in here.
Yeah, his computer's frying. Come on. You do. You have much more grace than I do, Sophia Jean. It's nice.
Yeah, but you got the power.
You got the longevity. I'm
No,
the flash in the pan.
but you're sexier.
No. I will admit that the ones who find me sexy really find me sexy.
I can get on board with that.
Mm. Hello, Alton. You're back.
On a different device, which makes your hypothesis seem more likely.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't plug my computer, it gets excruciatingly slow. It's low battery. I'm glad to be back. I imagine I'll be back.
If you're expecting a value positive, don't close your eyes. Keep looking at them.
You invite to you to bring the masculine form of what I'd shared, which is you doing to, and I imagine it's owning a desiring connection. And that's over here. You're very stern.
You're going to be trying, and I believe that in your expression of this, you're pointing how she's showing up, which is having you want to engage with her in a certain way to provide a certain kind of directionality.
Yeah.
Rather than how she's showing up, which is causing a kind of response in you. And that's where we stop.
Yeah, I see. Well, it's beautifully outlined. I'm impressed how that's basically been my historical technique of who I've been. And I like, oh, okay. Undo decades of conditioning, recondition something else. So thank you.
I'm curious, Cray, whether you would think that telling Jane something like the way that the way that I feel makes me so big for the rest of my life, I want to bring in the wood for you. Is that also something that
No, it's in my experience with most people, when you bounce into grandiosity, it means that I'm lying.
Let me say you're what?
Lying.
over-promising or something?
Yep.
Like if you're doing it consistently in a certain way, then it's like the doing version of that uh, expectation or something like that. Hey, Norman. Did you want to try that one, Mr. Coughing Sir?
No, that was just like it looked too cute. I just was like,
Norman can't be too cute. Impossible.
Except for when he flexes his mouth like that.
That's not cute.
like
Just means he's holding back, and you better get ready for whatever comes next.
Uh,
Hey, Norman, you want to prove me right? Oh, come on. I trained you better than that. But apparently not.
Do better.
I'm interested, Gray and or Sophia Jean, or I guess all of us. There are people we know in the community that regularly move from that masculine place of owning and creating what they want.
and
I'd like to model from them or learn from them and keep it in that practice.
Hey, who's that guy over there with the bald head? Big beard. Got like some white shit sticking out of his ears.
those are my new toys. God damn it. Jesus. I wanted them in orange, but I pushed the wrong button and I got the white ones instead.
I'm curious, you keep looking somewhere else, Alton.
I'm impatiently waiting for my computer to start again so I can see your face in a bigger screen.
No, I mean like
Oh, stop. Try that again, Alton, but slow the fuck down and put some flavor in it. You can use exactly the same words.
And I'm eagerly anticipating seeing you on my bigger screen.
No, now you're being too flowery about it. I'm waiting for my computer to reboot Sophia Jean so I can see you on the bigger screen.
flavor.
You're trying
Like
to
the
speak to their belly, not to their frontal cortex. Base. I've been on vacation too long, man. This is like being sober for a month and then taking a hit of Everclear. It's like, oh shit. Oh no.
Gray, can you model it differently or like with different words?
Use the same words. So I just did what I just said. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
To have a similar result or
say how Sophia Jean impacts you in a way that your masculine self is starting to make itself heard in ways that make you very excited and extremely uncomfortable.
That sounds a lot like what I said before, but then that puts me at effect of smallness and being disregulated.
So say the opposite. Say the things as if they are real and you're owning them.
As if they're real and as if I'm owning it. Can you just say the thing rather than having me decipher the opposite of the thing again?
Dear Jean, when you smile like that, all of my concerns about David's boundaries and anybody I might be with vanish.
Okay. How do you say that without marking yourself as like a dangerous defector around social constraints?
You're not. You're not saying that you're going to do anything. This is now. I'm looking at Sophia Jean. Do not try this with the Muggles that you're hanging out with. Okay. I'm saying, as practice for you in your gym, Sophia Jean is somebody that you can say, "I just want to bend you over and do you cowboy style." You can say that to her. She may not, it might be like, hey, stop splashing me with that childish bullshit crap, okay? You might say, but she's not gonna call the police on you. She's not gonna get all in her thing about it.
I'm gonna go grab my charger.
You can do the same thing with Norman. Right? Norman, you can practice doing a whole hell of a lot more that's gonna have your character get crazy. Then with Sophia Jean. Sophia Jean is like known but forbidden. Norman's like, I have no fucking idea. There's nothing there even to forbid. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I feel suspicious about there's nothing to forbid frames too, but yeah, how do you dance with people who purport to not have anything to forbid?
Know that you're a human being and there is forbidden stuff. And if it's somebody else, there is will be steam. Because that's the whole point, is that you're trying to feel this embodied. Any of us could say anything to Sophia Jean or Jochen, or any of us could read a script. Horrible, racist, homophobic, anti-German, anti-Asian, anti-old man. We could read anything. The point is, can we embody it? Can you actually open yourself up to the bigness of what it could be to be a human being instead of this narrow little thing that your culture tells you it can be, should be? What's Norman's equivalent of Sophia Jean's smile? For you, Alton, not for humanity.
For me is, I mean, I don't think you'll like this part, but when he's articulating some dynamic that I didn't have words to in a really dense, yummy way, that has me like, oh yeah, it's totally happening in like a word portrait caricature.
Yeah, then what do you do as an embodied human being when that happens? What do you do as an embodied human being when Sophia is sitting across from you and she smiles like that?
Receive it.
No, you dance with it. Oh, I'm nothing but a receptacle to the planet. I am here to be impacted by the universe. I'm not dancing with it. It's just impacting me.
It'd be fun if you did that too, Alton. Just as a 180 or an amplification of what you're already doing.
Universe card right there.
Yeah.
In the face of, I'm speaking as my imagining Alton. In the face of that invitation, Norman, I am scared speechless. This is his version of that,
Yeah.
Norman. Norman's really good at handing out universe cards, man. Because he knows 99.9% of you guys are too fucking cowardly to do anything with them. And he gets to go, you're nothing but stupid shits, aren't you, you big talkers?
How is there a more tempered version than in the face of your offer, Norman? I'm just scared shitless. That occurs to me as like in the hyperbolic territory.
You can say, that's a really kind offer.
Hmm.
Did you forget your charger, Sophia Jean? You're muted.
Sorry. No, I
No, you're
got
not.
I just also got a sandwich.
Mm.
All this banter makes me hungry.
Yeah, hungry. Yeah. All this banter makes me hungry for sandwiches. Yeah.
Or something real.
For something. Ooh.
Touche.
Nice theoretical construct there, Norman.
Were you going to follow that up, as Cray says, by putting some filling in that pie crust? Leave it to you to make Southern sounding references.
I got some filling for your pie crust, darling.
Bend me over.
Hmm?
I
What?
said, bend me over.
No, Norman, with you, it's you have to do the bending over and the emboilment. Yeah. Yeah. You're used to being bent over. I think. That you do it by yourself.
It feels more nuanced than that because I don't feel submissive. Um,
Oh, you can be bent over and be you can bend yourself over and be totally topping.
yeah, that's more like how it usually is.
But, so granted, we all get the graphic image of gay sexual stuff like that. How do you do it here? What would be the equivalent to get somebody to say something?
Sophia, I want a taste of what you're having in this moment.
If you're the player, I think you could be. That's like 110-mile-an-hour tennis serve. I don't think you understand that. I think you just lucked into a really good for her to actually being who I think who she is. I I don't know if she can actually return that ball. Alton would make it about the sandwich. He would describe the sandwich. He would, tell you where it came from. He can tell you about other sandwiches. Sophia Jean knows that you're speaking metaphorically. And she would go, oh shit. That means not only what's happening here, as above, so below. How do I put words on that? I can't do it from my head.
I imagine It's something like,
You're doing it right now. Stop. That
Hmm.
big smile. And go ahead, scribe away. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I feel delighted when you bloom like that. The little ideas springing forth from it within.
He
It,
is hiding his ravenous wolf.
it feels like
Norman, you don't even know that there's a wolf present, do you? He is so good at hiding this. Yeah. You show up like that, and you're just like you're like a trough full of steak tartare to a hungry wolf, and he can't embody it. I feel so pleased when you show up like that.
let me try something different.
Norman, be careful. You could sprain your primal character.
Good.
You could. It's not fun. It's not fun. You really want to be a little, don't just look at the water. It's 30 meters down. Okay.
Sophia Jean, that was tasty.
Nice. Nobody's noticing the drool. Nobody's noticing the diamond heart erection. No, not at all.
tasty like,
Tasty like sashimi that you eat properly with your hands.
oh, I wonder what it would be like to eat me properly.
Mm.
I imagine you'd have to show parts of you that might be a little not safe for work.
Mm.
I imagine your face covered in blood. Metaphorically.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
I imagine you're at the Quiznos counter. Oh yes, lettuce.
I'd like some more meat on that.
Oh yeah.
And some blood. Anything raw?
Now you're gonna let
Get
into it.
her to be wrong. She's skating around it just as much as you are.
I know. I
You're
know.
cooler about
No, what are you looking forward to for when you interact in person or come out to one of her workshops?
Wait, did you just ask me?
Yeah.
What do I look forward to when I come out to workshops?
You drove up like 10 hours to like have a workshop with Sophia John. Like there was something alive in you, and like I
Hmm.
imagine tapping into that.
This feels like too here. Like I'm still here, my answer. I'm trying to like not make it all cerebral.
it. Good luck. Your character.
Sophia John, are you able to give us any pointers around that?
Come on.
Just
Alton.
so
Sorry, I don't respond to robots.
I feel like I've finally had a really good meal when you see me. And I want more. more of that.
More lettuce then.
What does that mean?
Exactly what your response meant to be.
Okay, well, I'm wanting to wrap the live part soon so we can debrief on these, and I am
Now I gotta leave at the top of the hour, or 1 minute before the top of
all right. No, is there anything else you'd like to share?
the hour. Then just cut it off.
We can and how did we begin?
Confused, polite, bland.
Disconnected.
Hmm.
Oogly boogly.
Oogly boogly.
I can't figure out how to connect it in the eating metaphor, but I felt alive when you cut into me. And that's why I came to see you.
I think you also like tasting your own blood. It's really hard when it's so much about the experience. It's really hard to make it legible. Just to this. It's doable, but it's hard.
When she cut into you, who did you get to be?
I
You
got to
weren't a
feel more
victim
free.
of where? What became more free?
I got to be someone who, for a second, wasn't hiding.
Wasn't hiding what?
Hiding my longing anymore. I got to.
For what? For sushi? She cuts you, and you're like, "Why, thank you. I think I'd like to have tuna sushi tonight." That's what got released? That's who you got to be? Look at her, Norman. She's taking a knife and she's cutting your belly open. Who do you get to be in that moment that you couldn't be unless she was doing that?
I get to be here, not in the future.
You can't be anywhere but here. Stop it. I'm Norman, I'm totally serious. She's taking a butter knife, a freaking butter knife, and cutting your abdomen. What you get to be as she's doing that in response to her cutting you.
Alive
Excuse me,
here and not later.
I think you're cutting into my abdomen and I'm bleeding all over you and your hand and it's bloody and I don't like the way it smells. So I would like it if you would stop doing what you're doing, please. I don't think that's what's happening. I think in the moment of her cutting
Oh,
your belly open,
you
you
got
get to be
you got me to feel the hurt
of what?
of not owning that it's my responsibility to feel
Who
alive.
did you get to be? Oh my goodness, Sophia Jean. Thank you so much for showing me that
Ah!
my hurt. Thank you for showing me my hurt and having me acknowledge the fact that I am also in pain and that I hide it very well. It's not what was happening.
Okay, well, not every stream is gonna have a clean ending, so we're gonna end the stream.